Hello, students. For this week, we have an important topic. The topic is mental health. Okay. This topic is related to the last class, and the activity is improve your mental health. Okay, you have some vocabulary, some unknown words or new words for you. You have to review, you have to check these words because if you learn more words, you improve your vocabulary. Okay, we have a mental health quiz. There are 4 questions, and according to your information, according to your opinion, you mark, you choose only one of these 3 alternatives. Okay, and mark. For example, the first one says, how often do you exercise? Regularly, sometimes, or never? If you don't remember the meanings of these frequency adverbs, you check the last class. Okay. Number 2, how often do you eat fruits and vegetables? Number 3, how often do you sleep between 8 and 10 hours per night? And number 4, how often do you feel happy? Remember that how often, when you find this expression in a question, how often, is because it refers to the frequency that you do some actions, for example. Okay. And after you mark the alternative that you think, you check your answers. Okay, mostly A, good job, you should continue with your habits. Mostly B, almost there, you should sleep between 8 and 10 hours at night or per night. Remember, you should exercise, eat fruits and vegetables, and do activities that you like more often. And mostly C, you are not alone. You should talk to your parents or someone you trust. He or she can help you. Remember, you shouldn't feel sad all the time. Well, I remember about some ideas that you told me when we had a meeting. I remember two weeks ago, and you told me a lot of ideas that you had and a lot of actions that you do. You practice to keep a good mental health, no? Okay, and we have a short dialogue. The title of this dialogue is At the Hospital. The dialogue is between Franco and the doctor. Okay, I'm going to read. I feel tired all the time, and I often feel grumpy in the morning. This is a problem. Okay. Okay, let me ask you some questions first. Sure. How often do you eat fruits and vegetables? I hardly ever eat fruits and vegetables. I mostly eat meat and rice. How often do you use your cell phone? I am always on my cell phone. I need it to contact my friends and do my homework. How often do you drink soda? I drink soda regularly. I love it. Last question. How often do you help others? I hardly ever have time to help others. I am too busy with schoolwork. Here are my recommendations for you. First, you shouldn't eat meat and rice every day. Try to eat fruits and vegetables more often. You should use your cell phone less often because it isn't good to be connected all day. Also, you shouldn't drink soda so often. You should drink water instead. Finally, you should help others sometimes because it will make you feel better. Well, These are the doctor's recommendation. And for the recommendation, we use the modal verb should. Well, in this case, should not or shouldn't. This is the modal verb. Well, shouldn't. And after shouldn't, we find a verb. The verb eat. Eat is a verb, means comer in Spanish. Okay, the verb eat in base form. Without ing, without to, in the base form. Okay. You should use your cell phone less. This is another recommendation. Should is a modal verb, and the word after should, there is the verb. There is a verb after should. Okay. It's time to practice. Let's remember that when you can use the modal verb should or shouldn't in the negative form, no? To give recommendations, to give orders, to give advices, or to give obligations. Yes, to give recommendations and to give advices. And also, we analyze this part and try to answer true or false. After the verb should or shouldn't, remember that should or shouldn't is a modal verb. After should or shouldn't, we remember that after should or shouldn't, there is a verb. Okay, before the verb, can we write to? Is false. Okay, very good. Before should or shouldn't, we usually find a subject. It's true. For example, you should, you is a subject. Now, in my example. Number 3. After should or shouldn't, we find the verb in the base form. Of course, it's true. Shouldn't is the abbreviation of should not. Yes, it's true. Let's continue. And in this exercise, you practice the grammar, and this exercise gives you some wrong sentences. For example, people should to eat fast food less often and eat fruit more often. Should to eat. Remember that. Should eat. The verb eat without to. Okay. Should teenagers exercise and they should watch TV less often? Which is the subject? Okay, we talk about who? Teenagers. Okay, very good. Teenagers should exercise and they should watch TV less often. Number 3 and number 4 are for you. And we have 2 dialogues, short dialogues. Okay, let's check. What should you and your family do to take care of your mental health? The boy answered, in my opinion, we should play board games, watch TV, and cook together. What about you? Okay, you have to complete this part of the dialogue. I think we should ride bicycle, for example. We should clean our house together, for example. Okay, the next dialogue. Do you think there are benefits of spending time with your family? Yes, of course. Can you give me an example? I think when my family and I do activities together, we feel happy, improve our mental health, and reduce stress. And you? Okay, you write your idea. Maybe you think spend time with your family. Yes, it's a good idea, or maybe it's not a good idea. You write your opinion about this, and this is your evidence. Um, I suppose you remember the interview that you did um, 2 weeks ago, I think. You interview a member of your family, and you send me a report about this interview. Okay, using using the answers that you got in the interview, you write in a piece of paper. You write the recommendations using should. Okay, you have to be creative, um, and also I recommend you that you write two advices or recommendations for each answer. Okay, well, if you want, you create a video or an audio. If you don't have the time or the possibility, only send me the recommendations. Okay, if you have a question, please call me or send me a message in the WhatsApp group. Okay, bye, students.